All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into Locker Room Sports. Springtime is kind of in the air. We are here. It is March. I can't believe it. Wow, man, we're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to talk about some Auburn basketball. Tournament is set. We're also going to talk about Alabama basketball win over Tennessee the other night and what it means for them. And also, like I said, bro, it is spring, and we have got to talk about some football. So, first of all, let's go ahead and hit the darn like button while you're over here on that side page. It's real easy to do. I sure would appreciate it so very much. So let's see. 71 to – see if I can get more light on there. 71 to 69, Alabama takes care of business over Tennessee. Phylon had 23 points. Holloway had 12. He also went 2 for 2 on threes, which helped the Tide get past a top 25 Tennessee team. Latrell Wright also had 25 points. He was 6 for 9 on three-pointers. So that made a huge difference for Bama to be able to get to the top where they are at here to make it into the SEC tournament, which we have dates. We're going to have times and stuff to see where everybody's kind of seated at, and may kind of could have a guess of how some of the teams may do, not in the SEC tournament, maybe in the NCAA tournament. We could go through that and discuss that and see what everybody else thinks too. I'm trying to fix this, get some light over here on the paperwork. So, with that being said, 71-69 NCAA basketball being March 1st. We're going to talk about basketball some because it's March and it is here. Now, Auburn, in a surprising loss at home to a Ole Miss team they're ranked really low, even in the SEC tournament. I was surprised by both games, honestly. If you just want to be honest, I kind of felt like Tennessee may be able to beat Bama. I kind of felt that going into the game, and they had opportunities to win the game, staying up on their foul shots and that kind of stuff. And sometimes you just have nights, man, where your shots just don't go in. Some nights you just have that it's just not your night. And when you have a guy go 6 for 9, like Latrell did at Bama on threes, that makes a great night. So on the other side of that spectrum, like I said, I didn't expect – I kind of figured Auburn would beat Ole Miss, especially with, 6-point loss. So, basically, Pincus and Starr, they both had 26 points on the night. And also Kalefka, he was 2 for 3 on three-pointers, which adding those 6 seemed to help out down the long run. Hall had 21. Pettiford wound up with 24 on the night. And Everton had 10, and Freeman had 15 on the night. It seemed like the game – Auburn played the game pretty well most of the night, but as it got later in the game, it kind of got away from them. I think they tried to maybe shoot their way out of some of these spots, I think. And that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. And there's nothing, it's a bad time to lose though, man, because Auburn really needed this win to try to build some kind of momentum, even to try to think about making the tournament maybe with a win over there. So I don't know. I just say I was just kind of surprised by them losing. Now, SEC tournament-wise, Florida, Bama, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Texas, Vandy, A&M, Georgia. Auburn's at 11, Mississippi State, then OU, Ole Miss, LSU, and then South Carolina. That's kind of how it's ranked out right now. Again, the top 4 is Florida, Bama, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky. Tennessee coming in right under that. So that's kind of where they're at right now. And I have a good feeling that I think Florida could they got a good shot to maybe win this darn thing again. I mean, they just may do. I think Florida's got a good team. They can score with the best of them. They play good defense. They're long on the interior. I think they got probably good a shot as they did last year. Talking about Florida basketball. So SEC tournament dates are in. And as of right now, it looks like Wednesday, March the 11th, will be Game 3. I'm just doing kind of Auburn and Bama. Game 3 for this begins on Wednesday, March the 11th. Auburn will play Ole Miss again. It'll be at 8:30. And then on the 13th, Bama won't play until then. They're going to play at 6 o'clock. They'll play the winner of Game 7, which the Game 7 is Tennessee versus the winner of Game 4 or something like that. So looks like Bama won't play till the 13th. Well, then the championship game for the SEC tournament for basketball will be the 15th. Championship game will be then. So start off the show, talk about new rankings, that type of stuff. The new rankings are here, and we got a few teams still in top 25. Florida's 4. Bama come in just right outside the top 10 at 11. Arkansas at 20. Coach K is high, Coach Cal, he's a good coach, and I wonder if Kentucky, did they feel bad about letting him go? I don't know. I need to ask Dean about that. He's a big Kentucky fan because he's done good at Arkansas with way less talent. So Arkansas coming in at a number 20, and let's see, 22 was Vandy, and then Tennessee coming right in the top 25 at 24. So that's kind of college basketball right now, what you got kind of going on. We ain't going to spend a lot of time with that. We have a little bit of people that like to watch that and keep up with it, and we usually do a bracket stuff, which I'll probably do. See, I'm off tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I'll probably go in here and make a bracket for Locker Room Sports if you want to go in and play. And I think one time we give away a shirt or something like that, or maybe $20, if you win the thing. But what happens? Last year I won it, but you can't count us. So, because that wouldn't be fair. That'd be stupid to have a contest. If I just won it. So we'll try to do something like that. But I'll put it out there and try to get that stuff started tomorrow as the tournament stuff starts getting put together. So thank you guys for coming by and hanging out here at Locker Room Sports. Hope you've had a great weekend. Man, oh man, what a beautiful day it is. Come back now. Put your feet up. Don't worry about bombs over Baghdad and all that kind of talk. Let's just get away from all that. Forget about stuff for the day. And we hear enough of it through the week and whatnot. And I share some news over on my personal page. Just share news. If you're interested in that stuff, you can go find me over there at Matthew D. McKinney, and it's where I do the Project 77 podcast. It has to be somewhat political because politics are involved in everything now, which is unfortunate. But it's not really sided to a party. It's more biblical kind of based, just down the center of where you're going to kind of get stuff from. So if you enjoy that, go type in the Project 77 podcast, or you just type in Big Matt 1977, 2 G's. And it'll come up on there, and you can subscribe or follow. And I try to come on a day or two a week, but we don't want to do that. That's not what this is for. This is just to talk some football now, guys. Spring is here. March is here. March the 1st, 2026. Wow, good Lord, give us another year to be here. We are only 6 weeks, less than 6 weeks away from spring football going to be taking off. Let's talk about some spring practices and who's going to start when. When's your team's going to start out? Georgia, Bama, Auburn. When are they going to hit the field, getting their pads and stuff together? When's all that going to go down? So looks like practice for Bama will start on the 11th. I apologize. Sorry about that. Practice starts the 8th for Bama. Georgia and Auburn will both start the 17th. and that's like in a week. So we're a week away. Next week at this time, when the players get up in the morning, they're going to be going to the practice field, and they'll have something they call 15 on field sessions, 34 days. So they have 15 on the field sessions, but then they'll also have these 34 days for this springtime practice, 3-day workout, and then they'll have 3 days of cardio, then they have 3 days of rest called the 3-3, which I learned about that today, reading through some stuff and notes about how a lot of new colleges and coaches and stuff, how they're kind of handling this new era of fast-paced college football. So, again, practice for Bama looks like it will be next Monday on the 8th. Georgia and Auburn will be the next week after that, will be the 17th. All right. Now, you're all asking, we've kind of got away from spring football games, darn it. And I think most of us all like to go to spring football games. We did. We all like spring football, and I liked it because for it's just regular working people give us an opportunity to take our family to see our favorite football team without having to pay $200 or $300. So are you looking forward to that this year? Alabama and Georgia fans can get in free. Auburn will be charging their tickets prices. You have to buy a ticket to get into Auburn's spring football game. Their game will be on April the 18th. Looks like at 3 o'clock. Get to see Coach Gullish and staff start out the new era for Auburn, as they've been through like 3 coaches in the past. Seems like 6 or 8 years or so. It's just been a mess, a total dumpster fire. They just cannot get anything moving in a positive direction down there for football. So April 18th, get to see Brian Brown, quarterback. We saw him play last year at Alabama. Didn't have such a good day. He got sacked a lot and give up a lot of plays. And so we'll see how the new players that they're going to add. A lot of guys come in on a portal, totally new offensive line, new line coaches, new running back coaches. Going to have some new running backs. Going to have a good-looking guy out of Baylor, Auburn is, that they've brought in. I'd like to see Alvin Henderson play some, but just a fan of his. We covered him in high school, and bringing this kid from Baylor, it's just they've just kind of moved Alvin to the back again and again. I wish he would go transfer and go play somewhere. That's what because I want to see him play. I think he's good. And so April 18th is going to be, you can go down the plains and get there and buy you a ticket. I don't know. I think I heard maybe went last year before. How much was the tickets, guys? Did y'all see $5 or $10 or something? They're just kind of using it as a charitable donation to put in the bucket so they can do whatever other college teams doing, trying to keep players. So you can pay players to try to keep them there, like everybody's trying to do. So the 18th will be that for Coach Gullish and Bunch. Now, year 3 will start for Coach DeBoer and the Tide. And second year for Coach Grubb. Year ending of them last year at the Rose Bowl was absolute trash. They did not show up, didn't play with any heart or any care or zealous to even be there at all. One of the worst running games I've ever seen in my life, much less for an SEC football team, much less for an Alabama team that has struggled to run the ball for over the past 5 seasons. Something's got to give. Well, totally revamped. Coach Kapilovic gets run off. Auburn said, we'll take him. So Kapilovic, O-line coach from Bama, has had a terrible time at Bama. No production at all. Worse, just continually got worse. So he goes to Auburn. Why they took him, I don't know. So we're going to get to see if Coach Grubb is going to have a new identity with Sheridan. It's going to be gone. He's going to be up north at Michigan State. And then you have your other guy, Coach Shepard. He's left to take the head job at Oregon State, but they filled in some new coaches also. Coach Kalim is going to be the new offensive line coach. They hired a new tight end coach and a Nelson, a young guy. that's come in. And on April the 11th, you'll get to see Alabama at 2 o'clock. Will be free admission. It'll be like usual, be a big Golden Flake, Coca-Cola type stuff. Probably get Coke and Golden Flake bag of chips for, $5 for a drink and a bag of chips, and take the family, have a good time. And maybe it'll be pretty. Maybe it'll be a nice day for to be able to take the family and go kind of look at the players and as they practice. It's not going to be really like the A-Day games we've seen in the past. Those days are kind of over because, one, you can't have injury. Now, we did go from 85 to 105 scholarship players. But sometimes, Lane Kiffin said it when he was at Ole Miss, how you can kind of put your roster out there and make a good case for them, and they look pretty good. And next thing you know, they're getting phone calls and getting poached. And that's just unfortunate. That's just the way it is. So Tennessee will have their spring football game on the 11th, and Georgia also will be on the 18th. I don't know if these are going to be on ESPN or not. It didn't really say on the thing I was looking at. It just give a spring calendar, and it just told all the schools that were going to have spring games and that type of stuff. Let's see where. Auburn and Oklahoma are the only two teams selling tickets for their spring games, trying to keep that money pot full, trying to keep that old money pot full. They do have also in news for Alabama for new hires, Danielle Broswell of Kentucky, also formerly of Texas A&M, as to be hired as the new director of recruiting operations. She helped the Texas A&M Aggies recruit a number one class a couple of years ago. She was there doing the same job. So we'll see how the young Miss Braswell does in that position at Alabama as one of the new directors of recruiting operations. See how that goes. So this is not going to be a real long show. Just coming on here and kind of breaking it down and trying to see what everybody thinks about some basketball news. And it's usually not a huge time of year right now for us, but we got to get back in the swing of things. We can't get out of practice. Number one thing, hit the thumbs up while you're over here. Subscribe to the channel if you're over there on YouTube. Dad Burnett, we sure would appreciate it. Now, last little thing here. About 20 minutes in. Sounds pretty good. Alabama defensively. Last year they finished around top 5 or so. So we'll kind of figure out where did that go? There it is. Top 5 or so. So, let's take a look at where will they be next year? So that's the old roundtable topic for the day. Everybody hit the let's see if it's still, if everybody can just give us an applaud right here would be great. Alabama defense finished out top 5 last year. Could they be better next year? Just a question. How good will they be? Also, we'll look at a few of the offensive line starters and give a few names, let you guys piddle down some paper and be thinking about. So y'all can think about that too. And we'll start out with Jahad Edwards. We've seen him play last year. He's a super, super athlete. He's going to be playing, defensive backfield. It's going to be a super strong guy, very exciting player. Can't wait to see him line up on the defensive side of the ball and play. Also from Zay Brown and Red Morgan and those guys, how good they're really going to be too. Like Chuck McDonald's, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., can't believe it. He's got a kid old enough to play. Ain't that weird? And safety's got the transfer in, Taylor, and then an O'Neal. And what about Sabb? I mean, what about these guys? So it's just questions to ask, like, where do you think this Bama defense will be? And maybe we'll come back on next week and we'll look at Auburn. We'll look at their defense and see what you think. O-line. Alabama's offensive line is going to have a completely new look. Old round table topic. Bama O-line. How good do you think they could be? Well, this may be some of the starters, and these are just a few. They have like 6 or 7 guys back that played a little, and then they got about 7 or 8 guys in the portal. And probably out of the 7 in the portal, about 4 of them are going to be, I think, pretty darn good. Probably the other 3, probably you got to have backups. So Bama's about 15 or 16 deep on the offensive line. They've had some play time. The guy that's supposed to play center, the Racing Delgado, he's had a lot of snaps, played at a smaller school, but, this is the times that we live in. I know a lot of fans are PO'd about that, but what are you going to do? Other offensive linemen, probably left tackle, the Jaden James, probably could look at him playing left tackle. These are just guesses, guys. These are not the starters, so don't pencil these guys in. This is just kind of just what I know and what I've read, and because we don't know, a lot of this is just unproven. It absolutely is. It's just unproven. So Jaden James at left tackle, and then the Fields guy at guard. You can't forget about Ty Haywood. Ty Haywood comes from Michigan. He was at Bama, was a commit, and his dad made him leave and go to Michigan. That's the story I read, and that may not be true. He may have just got a big bag, and he went up there, and it didn't work out for him. Didn't get to play much. So he's come back down here to see if he can play. And if he don't do good enough, he don't play here neither. And also at center, we talked about Rayson Delgado. I like him. I did when I found out that they were getting him, I did go and watch some film and try to look at some snaps for him. He comes from a small school over there where our tight end come from, and like Cal Poly. It don't mean nothing, guys. If just because they come from a small school, that don't always mean nothing. So be careful when you go to judging guys by that. But Racing Delgado could be the center starting at Bama. Talking about spring football. It's going to start next Monday for Alabama, and the week after for Auburn and Georgia. It's here. So we're trying to get you some idea of the players that you may see up there. So y'all hang around. Make sure you hit the like button while you come by. Also, Michael Carroll, he's played a good bit, like him at right tackle. But this Jackson Lloyd guy, man, I really like him. He could play right tackle too. So there's going to be a lot of competition in the spring. A lot of competition come spring for all your favorite football teams. And next time we'll do Auburn. We'll go through some of their players and see what y'all think about some of them and where they may be at or where they may wind up or how that may work out for them. So that's kind of where we are. So just to rewind a little bit, this is just news and share. So we'll go back over here and get this one off. Alabama will be spring football game will be free, be April the 11th. Auburn's and Georgia's will be April the 18th. At Auburn, you have to buy tickets. When you get there to get in, they'll play at 3. Bama's is at 2. Tennessee's is on the 11th. So Bama and Tennessee is going to start on the 11th. Both admissions free. Georgia's and Auburn's on the 18th. At Auburn, you will have to buy a ticket. Auburn and Oklahoma are the only 2 schools charging to get into their spring football game. So, but now practice starts the 8th. So I'm going to be digging in here and looking into stuff and seeing who's who. And I've already heard today that supposedly just from stuff like, the guys are still like throwing the ball around and doing stuff. And so like I've heard, and from what I saw today on a post, Keelan Russell is just, he's smoking it, man. Keelan he's doing a really good job. and things are really looking up for him. So keep your eyes open for the quarterback battle at Alabama. So anyway, that's kind of about it. We don't have a long show, about 30 minutes. Ain't a whole lot going on, but it's fixing to. I just want to come on here and set you guys up to know that we ain't going away, but there's some off time, slow periods in the cold winters into January's, and usually the month of February is what they call the sports media, kind of just in general sports stuff. It's they call it the black period. Usually the middle of February, Valentine's week, and the week after, people just kind of reset, look at schedules for their show, look at some guests they may be looking to bring on, and that type stuff. Maybe do some new logos, which I've done some stuff here. You can see the background stuff, change stuff up a little bit just to be fresh. And I always try to stay new. And so we appreciate all the love and all the likes. Make sure you go by over there and share the page over on your Facebook page, and just let everybody know if you're looking for a good college sports show with no politics and no rehearsed lines, and we don't have producers and people running around all over the place giving us information. What information we have, we look for ourselves and we dig it up and, try to give it to you guys and girls as you try to live a normal everyday life and work hard every day, and try not to watch too much news about bombs in Baghdad and just people being mean and rude to each other. So this is a good place to come to get away from that, not have to go through all that when we just talk about your favorite team. Again, so thank you all for coming by. Make sure you hit thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. SEC tournament dates again will be as followed. Wednesday, March 11th, first day you'll see there will be Auburn play Ole Miss at 8:30 on the 11th. And then the 13th, Bama will play at 6. Alabama will play the winner. I think it's quarterfinals. So that's just the dates I got and what I wrote down. The 15th will be the championship game. So right now, tournaments, Florida, Bama, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Texas, Vandy, A&M, Georgia, Auburn at 11, Mississippi State, OU, Ole Miss, LSU, and South Carolina is how they have it laid out for the SEC rankings. Congrats again, Bama, 71-69 win over ranked Tennessee. Good win for them. And Phylon with 23 points, and also Big Latrell for hitting 6 and 9 on threes. Auburn took a bad one. They shouldn't have lost that game. 79-85. Even with Hall getting 21 and Pettiford getting 24 on the night. Overton with 10, Freeman with 15. They just couldn't overcome Calef. He had 2 for 3 on threes, and then the Pinkins guy, he was 4 for 5 on threes, and then they both, Starr and Pinkins, both had 26 points. So it's just too much for Auburn to fight off, so that kind of does them out on the tournament. Spring is here, guys. Gosh darn, man. What a great show we had. Get some more notes together. Maybe we'll come by maybe Tuesday or Thursday. We'll see what else is going on. Y'all have a blessed day and keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. Appreciate it. See you next time. Locker Room Sports is out.